everybody. Welcome back.
Hi, guys.
For the next episode on the Truth in Her Head podcast.
Yeah, welcome back. Episode
number 14?
Yep, 14.
Number 14. And we're going to dive into beauty today, what that means for a woman. And
beyond the mirror. Beauty beyond the mirror.
Beyond the mirror. Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of girls struggle with, especially as a younger age.
Easily. I think society, too, is like kind of at this place like, oh, wow, especially women, everyone looks at me. Do I want this or do I not want this? Mm-hmm. So much, and it's like, I just see so many girls struggling with that.
Yeah.
Do I want the, male gaze, feminine gaze, just all this stuff inside of society surrounding
what a woman looks like.
Should we go into that? Should we not go into that? Don't shave your armpits.
Yeah, what does this all mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's very confusing, and like, why are girls painted like this? It's so confusing. But what helps me is to look at how God made the world. Mm-hmm. I guess. To see, I think when I was young, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, men tell us to dress, it's our fault for dressing this way, and felt very victimized.
Yeah, like dress modest so that men don't
it's
look at you a certain way.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta dress for like the men.
And like, I hated the fact that I had a beautiful face or like long hair or just a beautiful body. Like, I really was like I wasn't giving the right power to it. I wasn't giving like the honor that it had because it like the
you
way
hated that about it.
I hated it was kind of like I didn't understand that my feminism and the woman like inside of me was like, this could be a good thing,
Oh, okay.
And like it was just like
you felt ashamed of it in a way.
Like, I almost felt like a victim.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Like, I felt like not ashamed. I guess I guess ashamed came with the victimization. Mm-hmm. Came with like, just hated being like in a body that was beautiful, but yet that's a gorgeous thing.
Yeah. It's like you just get so mad and you're like, why do men look at me this way? Why am I perceived only for the way I look and stuff like that?
Exactly.
So you kind of get mad. That's something a lot of young women struggle with. It's always like, and they even internalize it where they genuinely believe like the way I look is how valuable I am.
Yep.
And like you like didn't like that, but some girls like genuinely internalize that. And
it was like a rebellion to that idea.
Exactly.
And I didn't care what I wore. I wanted to like almost used it to like rebel against what I thought was wrong with society, what I thought society was telling me, what I thought, this perceived evil.
So did you rebel in a way of like, I'm going to wear whatever I want, I don't care what anyone thinks, like they can look at me however I want? Is that kind of rebel? Or was it like,
it was weird.
I'm going to hide?
Yeah, hiding.
Oh, really? Okay.
Hiding, like, not exactly like, oh, I'm going to wear like a bra to school, but like more like, it was hiding. That's how it showed up.
Interesting. Because a lot of people nowadays are rebelling against that by wearing a bra. You know what I mean?
You're
like,
right.
By showing their body more, and they're like, well, this is, empowering to me. I don't care what anyone thinks because, like, it's my body kind of.
Right. I guess there's kind of like, there's two extremes to it.
There are.
But when you remove the sacredness and the holy beauty, it can turn into either like being ashamed of having what you have or really finding like rebellion within what's being told to you through the media.
I know what you mean.
Like, it can go both ways. It can either be, completely not your identity, don't want it, push it away. Or it can become completely your identity. Right. You cling to that.
Exactly.
It's two different parts of the spectrum. Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely more of like it was my identity.
Right.
Like I really believed like I had to maintain this image of like I have to be pretty. I have to be upkeep my beauty or else, you know, my value would depreciate.
Yeah.
And people wouldn't look at me the same.
Right.
And like I had to uphold this standard for myself so that, because I had this idea that other people would respect me more if I was beautiful.
Right.
But in reality, you know, it was all in my head. I was a young girl at this point. So obviously, you know, when you're younger and you're in middle school and high school, all you're thinking about is what other people are thinking of you.
Exactly.
So it was natural for me to kind of feel that way.
Right.
And I've definitely grown out of it more as I've developed an identity, but definitely internalized that and based my value of who I was off of that. And that's interesting. Like, why are women so wrapped up in the way they look? Like, women are, like you said, they're created in God's image as a, like, we have something that men don't have, and that is, like, visual beauty.
Yeah.
Like, it's not uncommon to say women are more of a depiction of beauty. And so that's why we do struggle with it.
Purity. This you're right, it is. And it's interesting because, like, what does beauty mean? You know, when you get down to it, what does beauty really mean? And it's such a human, like, it's a construct, you know?
It's such a construct. And that brings us to, like, the idea of, like, what you were telling me earlier about the sin of a woman and the sin of a man based on beauty.
Right.
And why don't you explain that a little bit further?
Yeah, definitely. So, like kind of what Mary said earlier, like, so obsessed with what we look like. We are wrapped up of, women can be very wrapped up in what we look like. And, you know, that can be our sin. We can go really deep in that and say, you know, either say like, oh, I'm going to be able to get whatever I want if I look a certain way, or I mean nothing and my body doesn't have any value, and it's just, you know, really look at it as a bad thing. And I mean, but more so on the side of like, I can get whatever I want with my body. I think a good word that explains that is vanity. Like, women really want vanity.
Yes, they want to be seen. They want to be viewed. They want to be appreciated for the way they look. Like, that's why we have makeup. That's why we dress nice. And I mean, come on, you can't say that you don't feel that way.
It's kind of like how nature works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like kind of like the way a peacock has evolved to have all these colors in it. You know, it's like the more colorful peacock is going to get picked to be mated with. You know, and it wants to be seen as this idea of beauty. And when we cling to that and we make it our entire identity, it can turn sour. It can turn, we remove what beauty really means. We get rid of the, sorry, my phone just buzzed, but we remove, like, you know, what inner beauty is. Yeah. You know, it doesn't become inner beauty, it's outer beauty then. And then on the man's side, it's, you know, where is the sweetest apple? Where is this,
and that's
the
why
prettiest
we have,
flower?
That's why we have that feminine sin of being so vain and wanting to be looked at. Yeah. It's because the men have the other side where, like you said, they want to, their masculine sin in a way is to give into that. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Fall for the temptation, fall for, like, you know, if you have someone who's going around very open, you know, I guess like sleeping all the time with people, you know, then it would be very easily, and then a man who's falling for that very easily.
They're very easily tempted by the feminine
there's the seduction, you know.
Men are easily seduced by us.
Exactly.
And so that's their temptation and their sin by giving into that, and a lot of men give into way too much of it.
Very easily.
And so it's kind of like this balance of, like, we want to be seen, we want to be viewed, we're very vain, we care about what we look like, and then the men are like, you know, they're always searching for
the next girl,
the next beautiful woman to look at and to indulge in. And so we have this balance of two powers in a way.
It's very interesting.
And that's kind of how we like to explain, like, why are women always on this search to be more beautiful? Why do we wear makeup?
Now that we're, like, really talking about it, I remember, like, it's kind of bringing back old memories of really, like, hating this system. Yeah. Like, hating, like, just this idea that, like, everyone was chasing after each other and falling for each other, and, like, it was messy, chaotic, and nobody like actually cared, with the whole idea of like one night stands and hookup culture, and just the way that we would just talk to each other, and like the language we would choose, even like not even just saying hello, how are you, what's your name, but like rather saying like, can I get your number, what are you doing tonight? Like
I think we've become so physical in this world, to the point where, like you said, beauty is seen as such a physical appearance, and we've forgotten the idea of beauty on the inside.
Right.
And so, men are really basing who they're dating and who they're sleeping with based on how the woman looks. They're scrolling on Instagram, finding the best photo of a naked woman.
Yeah.
And that's what's bad on their end, and
that's
then
all
on our end.
Like, sometimes it's just some men, that's all they search for.
Literally all they search for. And then on our end, women are basing all of their value on what they physically look like, and then
they want that
wearing
attention.
less and less.
I fell for that too. I've wanted that attention. I've wanted that, like, I've wanted someone to want me.
We're lying if we say we've never wanted that,
Exactly.
We're all lying. And we're basing our value on what we look like more, and we're wearing less and less. We're putting on more makeup. And so that's how we're becoming more physical in that way. So, the men are wanting more of that, and then we're giving into more of that. So where has our beauty on the inside gone?
Yeah.
What can I get your number?
Right.
Where's the charm? Where's the, I like how this woman talks to me. I like how this woman holds herself. I like that she's, like, it's hard to find a man where the nice thing he says about a woman is, oh, she holds herself really nicely. I like the way, how modest she dresses. I like, her profession is really cool. She's very intelligent. Like, when was the last time you heard a man say that?
Right.
Like,
you're right.
That's hard to find nowadays, but that was more of a depiction of beauty, and having that inward beauty, the way you hold yourself, what profession you have, and how intelligent you are, and how kind you are to people, that really brought out the external beauty too. Yeah,
you're so right. It comes from inside.
It does.
It really does. And like, I think we're kind of at a point where like we're kind of dressing like we, and like even you guys have seen it, like we're kind of wearing just jeans all the time, and like just wearing what makes us feel really comfortable. And it's like we're not chasing something, that like we're not chasing the next coolest fashion trend or the coolest
or the most
color.
amount of looks.
And it kind of reminds me too of like in the Hunger Games, how everyone was wearing like all
flashy clothing.
Yeah, I don't know what they were called, but like the people running the rich people, they were wearing all these weird colors, these crazy costumes. And it's kind of interesting to even watch how like women's clothing does that compared to men's clothing. Men's clothing has not changed.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just stayed the same. But women's clothing, there's always something new. There's always
desire to stand out.
Exactly.
More than men.
Exactly. And it is a great power, but it can go sour. It can that rhymed, but we can, it can be used to your advantage, but not in, it can be malicious. And it can turn dark. It can turn,
I know what you mean, because that's the only thing we're seeking to make ourselves feel better. How do we look on the outside is determining how we feel on the inside now.
Right. And even if you think about it too, with like how quick our interactions are, even just on the phone, like the first 3, 4, 5 seconds of seeing somebody, you're going to instantly know, oh, I like this person already. And that's like something you learn. That's not something like, we're all kind of like flighty, on edge when we're meeting somebody new. But like, what if we sat there and we decided, okay, this moment can turn into anything. Let me not judge it. Let me stay open. Let me stay, it doesn't matter what they're wearing. Let me look at how they're going to talk to me, how they're going to speak to me, how they're going to say my name, how they're going to take what I'm saying. Yeah.
And a great example of that is like Snapchat, and how people just, Snapchat pictures back and forth.
Like, what is
it's
that?
like all communication based on what you look like.
Literally.
And it's like, what's
pictures.
on the inside? Hello. We've lost the value of what's on the inside. And everyone's judging each other based on how we look.
I think eventually, my stepdad told me this, eventually The only people who are going to be successful in life are going to be people who understand this and who aren't going to be on the phone, because the phone only takes you to a certain level.
What's reality?
What's reality?
How do you speak to people? How do you carry yourself?
Because we even talked about this on the technology episode, about how this makes you a leader. Having a true personality, true confidence, true relationship with somebody, being able to be vulnerable, look eye to eye, hold them accountable, hold me accountable. That is those are the people who are going to succeed in life. The people who are just
beautiful on the inside.
Beautiful on the inside and able to use their skills and powers as for good. But the people who are chasing things and chasing looks and chasing, the next good feeling, that depletes. It's not gonna be. It's not eternal. Yeah. It falls away with the way the world dies. Things of this world die. Yeah. So what is eternal? What stays inside, what is going to be continuous? That's your spirit inside of you. The spirit that says, I want to see who you are, I want to learn who you are, and I want to know your experiences.
What's eternal? Your soul.
Exactly.
Build your soul.
The Holy
Spirit. Be kind to people. Build that soul. Be magnetic. Be a kind person for other people. Yeah. Who are you? And what's not eternal is your body. Yeah, exactly. And I've even come from a place too when I was like, maybe searching for a boyfriend, kind of wanting that deeper connection, wondering why. Why wasn't I, what is not desirable about me? Why are people, why don't guys want me? And it was kind of like I was just going after the looks, just going after that's what I thought men wanted when I was so young. And you were attracting men that only cared about what you cared about.
Exactly.
So then you're going to be attracting men who are only going to see your value based on your looks, because that was the value you were offering.
Exactly.
If you value your inner beauty, if you offer your inner beauty as value, you will attract people who will care about that inner beauty more than your outer beauty.
Exactly.
Yep.
If you grow your own roots, make them big and strong, and then you fall in love with someone else's roots too, when both of your leaves fall away, your roots will still be there to love each other and to hold on to each other.
Yep.
Don't fall in love with the flowers or the leaves or even the branches, because sometimes those get cut away. You have to fall in love with the roots and the soil and the water that feeds those things.
Your soul.
Yeah, your soul.
And who you are as a human.
Exactly.
And that'll make you go a long way if you can see beyond what they look like, because that's the person you're going to be crying with, you're going to be talking to, and you're going to be going through challenges with. What kind of person is that? What kind of person do you want to surround yourself with? And that's the inner beauty.
Exactly.
You'll love their soul. You'll love who they are. You'll love their humor, the way they laugh. And that's important. And I think important. Since society has gone so far to put their values on what you look like physically, I think that the idea of thinking that I think it's dangerous is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Because when people are calling people who are physically beautiful, it's true. I'm not saying people aren't beautiful.
Right.
I'm not trying to say that. But it can be dangerous because some people have really bad hearts and bad intentions.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's just sad to watch people be glorified.
Yeah, 100%.
When
those people that are being called beautiful, who really aren't beautiful on the inside, it makes us ask, what are we calling beautiful?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
What matters to us? Is it the outside looks, or is it the inner beauty? And
And to me, inner beauty transcends into your outer beauty, and that's when you're gonna want to dress more modestly,
right,
or according to who you are as a person.
Exactly.
And wear the colors that you like to wear.
Yeah.
And
it's not about what you put on your body. It's about what comes from the inside. So if what you put on your body doesn't matter, it might be better to wear the more modest clothes because you're not searching for something. You're not searching to be looked at. You're not searching for the next eyes. You're not searching for a man that's going to, be hooked to you real
like
quick.
you care about what people are going to think of you on the inside first.
Right. So come to my face. Come to my face. Don't come to my body.
And what I'm trying to say is I find it so strange how, some women will wear these very revealing clothing and go out in the streets, and then everyone will be like, you go, girl. Like, you're a boss.
You're right.
And it's like...
That can happen.
It's kind of interesting how that's being glorified when it's like, don't you want someone to look and to see who you are first? Because, like, no matter what you wear, like, people are going to look at you in a very, sexual way. Right. If you're going to wear that kind of stuff. And it's kind of showing who you are on the inside a little bit.
You're right. Because that is kind of, it's weird how we, like, interact with each other for that first, like, we are humans. We're gonna...
We are humans.
We are humans. We're gonna, like you said, like, people are gonna be viewing you in that sexual way. Because we do have the beauty. So why not put the holiness back on it? Why not make it sacred and something worth valuing and not give it right away? Make people see your inside first.
And it's not about rebelling or anything.
Exactly.
Think about this as an individualistic perspective. What do you want people to view you as? Really, if you want people to see your heart first, and you want to express that to people, show it. Yeah. Like you said, make the conversation. Get out of your phone. You don't need to find value in necessarily right off the bat what you look like on the outside.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It's not how we create meaningful connections.
The right people won't. The right people won't find value in what you're looking on the outside. So, like, you don't need to dress yourself up with all these crazy...
Yeah. Your soul is eternal, not your
body.
Exactly. And, it's just a cool thought. And I think that's an important lesson we need to learn.
Yeah. Your body is sacred. It's holy. And, yeah. It's a gorgeous thing. And your power comes from within. It does not come from without. It's beyond the mirror. And, it comes from your soul. And then also how someone views you. If someone is viewing you with that idea of, like, if they're viewing you with your soul having power, that's the person you should be around. Yeah. If they're going to view you with how you can, how you are dressing, that person should not be glorified or put on a pedestal in your life. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And it's also how you view yourself, too. Like, if you're viewing yourself as, like, where do you find value in yourself? Are you going to invest in your knowledge and your spirituality and your soul and invest in those kind of things on the inside? Or are you, just investing in the way you look and what you're putting on your body and how much attention you can get?
Like, what are you doing on your free time?
It really expresses how you feel about yourself.
You're so right, Marie.
Like, what are you really trying to portray here? Yeah. You're trying to portray who you are as a person.
What are you working on in your life?
Exactly.
What do you value? Do you value...
What do you value about yourself?
Yeah. Do you value your woman abilities? Like, what is a woman? That's a great question. What is a woman? Is a woman just something you get pleasure out of? No. Is a woman you just flashy things and good times and good thrills? No. A woman is someone who can offer nurturing and beauty, like this sacred beauty. It's not something that can be like...
It's sacred.
It's not expendable.
It's not created.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially by humans.
Exactly. It's not like...
It's a godly force.
Right, exactly. And we have, like, it's a gift. It's a gift, beauty in this world. So, like, what does it mean to us? What is a woman? A woman, to me, is someone who is, sees her sacredity inside of herself, the holy womb, and, like, wants to protect that, wants to nurture it and care for it and feel and see everything else outside. And that does the same thing, like feel for the baby bunnies, even like the moms, you know what I mean? Yeah. But that's part of like the purity and the sacredness of it. Like even animals don't. It's funny because the way we see nature work, like it's almost flipped. Normally the males take on the roles, like the beauty roles, like the males get the flashy colors and and the like just a peacock, for
like
example.
The
birds,
like,
exactly.
The crazy thing.
And the women outside, or the females in nature, are the ones with the duller colors and the white colors, and it's very interesting to watch how like our society has that flipped compared to
that is interesting.
nature.
I've always thought about that too.
It's
weird.
I wonder why.
I wonder why too. But I don't know. That is interesting. I have thought about that. Why do men have the flashier colors than the birds?
Yeah, right? Like, and we've always grown up as the other way.
Yeah, you're right.
It makes sense. It makes sense for like a woman to dress up with the pinks and the purples and the blues.
We are,
I don't know.
We are created in God's image as a beautiful creation.
Yeah.
Just like the flowers. He made Eve and he said, this is such a depiction of my power, of how beautiful I can create something.
Yeah.
And it was something beautiful for Adam.
It was whoa, man.
He needed it.
It was whoa, man.
Yeah, whoa, man.
Like, whoa, woman. Like, wow. Like,
and like Adam needed that.
Yeah.
Adam needed, a beautiful
the beauty partner.
Because when you look at beauty, you should be thinking, wow, what a beautiful creation God has created.
Exactly.
It's a depiction of, wow, praise God, this beauty. And that's what a woman is in human form.
Yeah.
And when you look at something beautiful, it brings you to God because it connects you to God in a way because it's God's creation.
Exactly.
So it can make you be in woe of God.
Right. It's a sign of his power, a sign of his...
It's like bridging you there a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. If you can make that connection and you see the sacredness, and something I've studied in the past and still continue to study is perfectness in math and nature. I have this book my grandmother gave me, and it's called Is God a Mathematician? And there's this idea called sacred geometry that pretty much says like nature... in nature, you can find these perfect shapes everywhere, these mathematical perfect shapes, and somehow, like, the way that they're everywhere and the way that they're placed inside of nature just points to a designer, points to something putting them there, like not like an intelligence. Like it's
everything is mathematically just correct.
Yeah, correct, exactly.
In our geometrical makeup.
Exactly. So then we get these ideas that like math, perfect math, and beauty like are very similar. Very, very similar. The perfect square, this geometric perfect square can be found outside. Yeah, exactly. It's like the way all the atoms align themselves are just, it's perfect. It's perfect. There's no other way to explain
I know what
it.
You mean.
And like that God is perfect too. Jesus was perfect. So, it's just so interesting to look outside and see his creation and be awed of it, and the way the whole system works together, and the way it abounds with life and just grows in a way that things are thriving and flowing and shining. And I think it's important to see yourself as that too. Like we have the ability to bring child into this world. We have the ability to grow a human and even just bring softness back into a situation or a fight. We have the ability to make someone feel okay and feel for them too. We have that ability. It's a sacred ability and shouldn't be, place your power on that and place your value on that, because that's what's gonna, that's eternal. That's what's gonna last forever.
Yeah.
And if you're going out and you're wearing all these, revealing clothing, it kind of depletes its power. It shows it right away. And it doesn't,
It's not getting right to the heart. It's too physical.
Exactly.
It's too easy. It's too physical. Like,
right.
Where is your heart?
Yeah, exactly.
Where's,
Is it on the inside or the outside?
I want to get to know the person.
Right. How fast is your heart, too?
What are you truly offering me?
Right. Like, what does your heart want?
I don't want just worldly temptations tempting my eyes. I want you to tempt my heart.
Exactly.
With your beauty, with your inner beauty. Tempt my heart with your inner beauty.
Right. Selena Gomez has that song, "The Heart Wants What It Wants." The heart wants what it wants. Like, she's so right. Your heart's going to fall for temptation. Your heart's going to fall for the prettiest, shiniest looking thing. So, sometimes it's so easy to fall for that.
So easy.
It's so easy. Like, it's hard to give your heart discipline. It's hard to hold yourself back from something you want so badly.
Yeah.
But, you know,
what does God expect for us? Like, what is godly, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Align yourself on that narrow path where, you know, you can be more like Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And because there is good and bad, and there is a structure to this world
there's good and
mean?
bad. Exactly.
And don't give in to worldly pleasures and worldly shiny things.
Exactly.
That is all of this world, and it will die one day.
Mm-hmm.
It will die with your body.
Exactly.
You know what? True beauty is beauty that aligns with what God wants for us in heaven.
In the spirit.
Mm-hmm. In the spirit.
Yeah.
How can we raise our spirit to be beautiful like Jesus was? Jesus was beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's true beauty, not stuff that's going to die on this earth and deteriorate away.
Right.
I think that's our main lesson for today.
I think so.
You know?
Yeah.
Really, it's far more valuable,
the
beauty on the inside. Far more valuable.
So much more. It's eternal.
That's what's going to give you your lifelong partner.
Exactly.
That's what's going to bring you closer to God.
Exactly.
That's what's going to give you eternal happiness and eternal fulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
Not what your body looks like.
Yeah.
Not how much makeup you're wearing.
Right.
And
or even how much money you can give a girl.
Yeah.
Or how much, you know, how many cars you can give a girl. How much fame you can give a girl.
You can't buy a good heart.
Exactly.
Its value is so precious.
Right.
And we must put that above any other thing that we're investing in ourselves.
Yeah. Set yourself up in heaven.
Mm-hmm. No more. You know, invest in your knowledge. Invest in your well-being.
Yeah, your experiences with your family and your well-being. Exactly.
And how good how
your inner peace.
Much service you could be to others and everything like that, and you will be a beautiful person beyond the mirror.
Exactly. Work on your heart. Work on your
heart,
not your body.
And that's what we have to say.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, I think that'll end it for today.
Yeah, I think that was a great episode, guys. That felt so fast. That felt really fast. Thank you for watching. Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.